What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. Y'all have been complaining about the volume. Hopefully it's fixed in this video. And let's get into a live market watch. It's been like half a year since one of these. Link into the brains. It looks a lot better in the US with that extra pink flare that you can even see on this take of it. It's getting bought out. Look at this dip of a graph. Oh my gosh, whoop, it's back on up. I think Cali Effect covered this card as get this before it skyrockets, which then it skyrocketed, of course. But this card is something I've been telling you guys and gals and duelists not to underestimate in the least. This card combos so well with many different decks, and being original into this set. It's from the History Collection in the OCG, which got buried for us and now got partially put in here. Where's the rest of it? Animation Chronicle, maybe next March reprint set. Who knows where you'll get the rest of the cards. It is in the Megatins, and there were a lot of early buyouts. Count them like 10, 11 early buyouts on cards in the Megatins, because half prints, short prints, which have never been in the tins before, were part of it. A lot of the cards stabilized. However, we have this as a buyout, and there's going to be more buyouts throughout this video that involve the Megatins. Appaloosa Apollo USA is going up for its OG Secret Rare. Of course, the Prismatic Starlight, crazy, insane Secret Rare is going up even further and further as the premier, most sought after Starlight. But the regular Ultra Rare out of the 2020 tins is also going up. And the Gold Series version, so many people are allergic to the Gold Series version as if they live in Texas and have the same allergies as me. Even it has been going up consistently over time. You can see, however, that 3-month graph, and just overall, it continues to go up. People are really buying out this card, and it's appearing here and there, but not so much overall, I feel like. Still an option, still a threat. People still are going for this card, and the Rising Rampage version, especially as the mid-max rarity, has been increasing in value. Guardian Chimera, I warned you guys on this one, gals, duelist. Guardian Chimera, Battle of Chaos. It's interesting because it's one of the cards that could not get reprinted for Despia, and you now have the Bistid coming out soon, where the deck gets another facelift for Albaz lore. When's that gonna stop? Never, probably. But Guardian Chimera is going back up in price, and you can see the lowest listed are now around $44, $45. That's what happens whenever you see a lot of the other parts of the deck become cheaper. People start to go, okay, I naturally need this card. It's not necessarily a buyout. And they go, okay, I have the rest of it. Well, time to get it. And that's just what's going to happen. People are going to be grabbing at the card, whether it's mass played or not. Branded in red for the deck, however, apparently a short printed in the rare section. My chat is telling me that it was hella shorted, and I haven't actually dug with the sponsors to confirm anything other than the secret rares having shorts in them. So it looks like plays in the tins have different levels where certain cards may not be as common as others, and the data kind of backs it. Looking at this, look at the freaking almost checkmark look as it spikes up in price. The rare, $1 to quickly $2 depending on who you're shopping, but get that free shipping and shop other cards from these people. $1 plus rare out of the tins for Branded in red, which kind of leads me to believe the super rares maybe a smidge undervalued around that $3 mark, and just hollow it up instead of going for the $1 common if you can afford to do so. But some people just want the cheapest card possible to playlist. Speaking of cheaper, Arch Nemesis Ashathos has fallen off a little as a tech, but I still think is a huge threat within certain formats. This card has been coming down in price, and you can see readily available under the $5 mark and around the $5 mark, where before it was selling for $10. So almost a 50% fall. Sometimes things get hyped up, and in a couple weeks, smash on, back down. That's how these cards work, even without a reprint sometimes. Crystal Beast doing something before the structure deck. Okay. Anything can be played with tier elements. Okay, super rare Crystal Beast Emerald Tortoise at $14. Not okay! It's the highest rarity version. Every single other version of the card is common. There's not even a rare. Yeah, people are really going in on the super rare like this, and it's reached levels that shouldn't be possible. But what are you going to do when it's only in raw yellow mega pack if you want a max rarity Crystal Beast? Max rarity Crystal Beast has aged well overall within the market, but This has to be one of the most ridiculous ones that pretty much has never been played in the deck, and people are going for now off a bit of hype. Mystic Mine, Banlist Fears, not applying to the Prismatic Secret Rare anymore. It's getting lower on quantities. People are buying it, see it fall down in market price yet. Versus that, actually, the availability quickly up to $10 on the front page, and many sales at even the $12 mark, yikes. But a lot of them around that $10 mark even on recent sales. So it's surpassing what was here and is going up towards really its max market price in recent history for the secret rare. But the other versions have cooled off and have more listings over here versus market price. So maybe a little Banlist Fears on the lower end, but on the higher end, people are going in. And to be fair, it did take a YCS. Let me know when you think the ban list is actually going to drop in the comment section down below. We were looking at Dueling Book, and we learned quite a few techs that are going on in the format. Shinobi Necro is one of them, and you're going to sense the theme in the next couple. They all come back as free stuff when they're milled. Tearlaments, yep, but also Dragon Link depending. If this card in the graveyard is banished face up to activate an effect or buy an effect, you can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You're talking about a zombie, but also a tuner, also a level 2 mixing in with any Tearlament sprite mixes or anything playing sprite. So you have definitely an interesting card here that is also a tuner, that is a level 2. A lot of good things going for this card that used to be only a jump promo in the OCG, but came out as a common for us. So lucky for you, there's a super easy access version. But if you want the holo, you're paying extra right now. It's bumped up, and you can see that graph. It's continuing. Destrudo also has multiple versions, including a recent OTS common, but the super rare is bumping up further and further once again as it gets played for its graveyard ability to come back time and time again. Well, once really. But when we're looking at this card, crazy you pay half your life points for it, yet so worth it, and the holographic is way up there. And Gizmecha Orochi, as long as you got cards in the deck up to 8, can come back, and it is getting played, and the secret rare version specifically is going way up, especially the first edition, and you can see Unlimiteds here, and then first edition actually available under market price for a good bit, but still something people are grabbing, something to be aware of, especially if you have a copy and you didn't know it was going up versus, say, the $3 versions or the under $1 versions. You might have a little more money than you thought you had. Torrential Tribute. This was super hyped on inception and the release. People were so excited, it looked so good, and then it flopped really hard over time versus what people were spending. You can see it dipped all the way down to 46, but now almost double that on the lowest listings as it goes up towards 80. Goat Boomers, yep, but this goes into many different past formats, right? Plant format, for example, and continuing on later, and then even in some modern formats, finding its way into play. Collector Rare definitely looks very, very good. Argued for max rarity, although I would think first set original takes that cake. This still looks amazing. Stardust Dragon, Starlight Rare. That definitely goes together, doesn't it? The Collector Rare has done nothing but kind of fall down, but the Starlight Rare started on that trend, and then people bought it out back up into the 600s recently. The Starlight market on the top-heavy end often gets bought out and recycled and pushed. There's a lot of deep, interested pockets in that, as we've discussed, but the lower end has been falling out like never before. Apollosa reaching new heights on the top end, Stardust leans towards that top end and also past format interest, but there's the OG Ghost, there's the Ultimate Rare, there's the competing versions on what people will actually play in their past format decks. This, and the Collector Rare that's been falling out, right? But this is pretty well defined as above everything but the Ghost by the community. Ultimate Rare, you can argue, but back in the day, people actually thought it was ugly and tried to avoid it, and it went down in price. You have modern nostalgia kind of going back for it, but people played the Secret Rare over the Ultimate Rare back in the day, believe it or not. This version is kind of the second most accepted copy after the Ghost. The Ghost is just so hard to get. Bisted, that is an Albaz kind of deck that's coming back in the future. Chat, thank you so much for joining live. Are you winning, son? I hope so. Life's pretty good. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Been a while since we did a tipsy market watch if you felt like something was off. And that volume's back for everybody who was begging for it.